Dear Diary, I think I am just done with my marriage. I just got back from a 24-hour flight and a 3-hour cab ride from the airport. I had been attending a conference on the other side of the world, an incredible opportunity, entirely funded by my institute since I'm still a student. Knowing I'd be arriving around midnight, I asked my husband if there were any leftovers at home. He told me, since I'd be getting back so late, he had already eaten everything. But he reassured me, saying, "Don't worry, I'll either heat something up for you or make something fresh when you get back." I shouldn't have trusted that promise. His track record isn't great. But the optimist in me? She clings to hope. She believes people can change. When I finally walked through the door, I was exhausted but still excited. I had brought back little gifts for everyone, goodies I knew he'd wanted, and some chocolates. Sure, I couldn't splurge because we're saving for a house, but I stretched my strict budget to make it special. And yet, when I showed him the gifts, he barely reacted. No smile, no excitement, no acknowledgement. I remember a time when even the free stuff from a flight or hotel could make him beam. He didn't ask if I was hungry or how I was feeling after such a long journey. The whole gift exchange took maybe 15 minutes, and then, as I was heading to take a bath, he turned to me and said, "I'm going to bed." I froze. "What about my dinner?" I asked. "You said you'd make something." His response? Cold. Dismissive. He blamed me for wasting time opening gifts and said he had to sleep because he had a doctor's appointment in the morning. I was devastated. I stood there, trying to process his indifference as he climbed into bed and fell asleep within minutes. Snoring. Peaceful. While his wife, who had been gone for a week, who had endured 24+ hours of travel, was left hungry and heartbroken. I took a bath to calm myself, though the tears wouldn't stop. Then I went to the kitchen and made myself a bowl of instant ramen. Not because I wanted it, but because I was too tired and shattered to make anything else. As I ate alone in the quiet of our home, I couldn't help but think back. I've woken up early to make him breakfast when he had to leave early for work. I've stayed up late to prepare hot meals when he came home after long days. I've always been there for him, ensuring he felt cared for, loved, and valued. But tonight I was left with nothing but the sound of his snores and the weight of my loneliness. Is this what marriage is supposed to feel like? To come home after a week away, excited to reconnect, only to find indifference? To feel invisible? To feel like your needs don't matter? I don't know how to recover from this. I don't know if I even want to. That simple act, snoring through my pain, my hunger, my exhaustion, it feels like the breaking point. Like something fundamental in our relationship has cracked. And honestly, I don't think it can be repaired. I think I'm just done with my marriage. Until next time, diary sealed.
Dear Diary, my wife broke me. I'm 33, and so is my wife. We've been together for over 13 years. College sweethearts who moved in together 8 years ago and married 3 years ago. In many ways, she's been a supportive and caring wife. But here's the truth I can no longer ignore. I feel like I don't love her anymore. Worse, I resent her. The root of it? She needs me for everything. I've become the center of her world, and without me, she can't seem to function. It feels suffocating, like I'm drowning in her small world, constantly propping her up while neglecting my own needs. For the past 6 years, I've been doing most of the chores, fulfilling her needs and sidelining my own. To put it in perspective, we both work full-time jobs. Hers is a standard 9 to 5, while mine stretches from 8 to 6 on a good day. When we get home, I fix dinner, and by the time we sit down to eat, she either falls asleep at the table or immediately afterward. That's around 7 or 8 p.m. While she sleeps, I tackle the household chores until about 10. After that, I'd like some time for myself, to unwind, pursue a hobby, or just breathe. But inevitably, as soon as I start, she wakes up. And what does she want? Quality time, which translates to sitting in front of the TV until past midnight while she dozes off again. Why don't I just go to bed or insist on my own time? Because if I try, she'll wake up, call for me, and need help, sometimes just to get off the sofa. She's not overweight or physically incapable. She just lacks energy. My requests for us to go to bed together at a reasonable hour or for me to have some uninterrupted time are always met with resistance. "You'd leave me alone?" she says. "Spending time with friends or family is no easier. Why do you need them? I don't need anyone else. You're the most important person to me, so I should be the same for you." She believes everyone else is flawed, wrong, or annoying. She, on the other hand, is perfect and always right. It's her way or the highway, and she's stubborn enough to argue her way into getting it. So why did I marry her? Because she does have good qualities. She made me more assertive, supported me in tough times, and pushed me to grow into the man I am today. I owe her that. But then came the baby. I never wanted children. I've always been clear about that. They don't bring value to my life, but she wanted one. Desperately. Her biological clock was ticking, and her peers were starting families. She convinced me to try. We even went through a medical program, but she miscarried in the summer of 2023. I was relieved. Yet a few months later, she got pregnant naturally. A miracle baby, she called him. And just like that, there was another project. The baby's room. Upgrading furniture in the master bedroom. Endless planning and purchasing. By November 2023, I was completely drained. She was 8 weeks pregnant, and I realized I didn't have the energy for her or the life she wanted anymore. I went to a therapist who told me I was doing everything for her while neglecting myself. We went together, and somehow the session became about me being a perfectionist and not allowing her to do chores. Outside the office, she scoffed. That was such a waste of money. She promised the baby would change things. Her attention would be divided, and I'd have more freedom. I wanted to believe her, so I tried. I tried to rekindle love, but every "I love you" felt hollow. Every kiss felt forced. Every hug left me staring blankly at the wall behind her. Now, a year later, our son is 6 months old. A beautiful boy who has brought unexpected joy into my life. But what kind of future am I giving him? I've seen 2 more therapists. One said I need to set personal boundaries. My wife immediately blamed my work schedule, saying I do too much overtime. The other therapist pointed out that my wife doesn't consider my needs and that I'm sacrificing myself for her and now for our family. You need to work together or face a hard exit, they warned. Even my friends can't believe I've held on this long. And her promise that the baby would divide her attention? It was hollow. I take care of our son, dropping him off at daycare, picking him up, handling most of the day-to-day care. She buys his clothes and plans things, sure. But the heavy lifting, it's all on me. The breaking points have come in waves. When she asked about my bucket list for 2025, I said I wanted 2 evenings a month for hobbies and 1 for friends. Her response? That's too much. You need to be present for me and the baby. When she wanted to upgrade the garage, I told her to come up with a plan. She didn't. She kept approaching me to discuss until I finally caved. After the project was done, she complained about the placement of drawers I had repeatedly asked her to confirm before installing. That day, I completely shut down. And then the incident at daycare. I picked up our son with a red mark on his head, and the staff couldn't explain it. She was furious. I tried to mediate, reminding her that babies get bumps and bruises. Her response? You're a terrible father. You don't protect your child. She apologized a week later after I brought it up. Since then, she's called me a great father several times, but it doesn't matter. That moment broke something in me. Now, I feel like I'm drowning in a life I didn't choose, tied to someone who doesn't even realize she's pulling me under. Why am I still here? I don't know. Maybe because I've seen how hard separation can be on others, but I feel hollow. Until tomorrow, diary sealed.
Dear Diary,